The Paleo-Indians have the reputation as big game hunters. In 1959, while digging a farm pond, the remains of a woolly mammoth, an extinct relative of the elephant, was found in Scarborough, Maine. This young female died of unknown causes, but archaeologists know that huge animals such as mammoths and caribou were hunted by the Paleo-Indian people. But how, with such primitive tools and means, could such large game be brought down?
The spear thrower, or Atlatl as it's known in Aztec, was a very, very significant innovation in the broader span of human history and prehistory, dating back almost 30,000 years ago.
This spear-throwing device is called an Atlatl. It was used by prehistoric man in northern New England and throughout the world to kill big game and other animals. Throughout northern New England, competitions like this one have been keeping this ancient skill alive.
It's one of those things that enables people to sort of participate in the past, if you will. And the Atlatl competition held here in Vermont and elsewhere in the region is one thing that enables participants, young and old, to connect with their ancient origins. Many people don't realize that the Atlatl is a common invention that we all shared in some thousands of years ago, our ancestors did, I should say. And so I think that's part of the attraction. And it gets us involved, that we're doing something. We're not necessarily digging up the past, better understanding it in that fashion, but like other branches of experimental archaeology where we take an ancient technology, recreate it in the present, we're better able to understand that technology and also have a little bit of fun at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone's doing their best. I think this is a great activity. I encourage everybody to do it. It's a link with the past. It's educational. It's just a lot of fun, a lot that you learn, a lot of nice people you meet. And I can't think of a much more fun sport to take part in. I really can. It's great.
Bob Berg is a craftsman and instructor who designs and teaches about atlatls and dart making. On the day before the competition, he passes on some of his knowledge to a couple of homeschooled children and others interested in this ancient weapon.
In a typical workshop, the first thing we try to do is get the people to have at least some rudimentary equipment, 3 darts and an atlatl. In the process of making the darts, I go through a lot of other things like cordage making and flint knapping, and a discussion on how atlatls are used and what they used to be used for and what they can be used for now. You know, give them some idea of what's going on in the atlatl world and give them some place to start. Some of the people that we had here yesterday were homeschoolers, and they're actually using it to further their education. And these simple rudimentary foundation skills that humans all used to have been totally forgotten. And somebody has to carry this stuff on. And if I can teach it to a few kids at a time like this, at least somebody knows how to do it, you know? It's actually important information.
Atlatl technology is one of the greatest innovations of all time, probably akin to farming. Atlatl technology enabled people who had it to throw a spear farther, faster, and more accurately than they ever could before. Before the invention of the atlatl, they needed to be close to their game quarry, the things they were after to eat. But with the invention of the atlatl, for example, they could take game at a distance of 200 and 300 feet. It was a phenomenal revolution.
At the competition, contestants, young and old, compete in both accuracy and distance trials.
One thing that's kind of fun about today, I arrived and
and I met up with some little guys. I think they're 8 and 9 years old, and they're being homeschooled, and their mom thought that this would be an interesting part of their education, so she got the kids involved in the workshop yesterday. And so they came down here with 24 hours of experience as far as throwing the Atlatl, and they were doing about as well as somebody who started yesterday could do. So I took one under my wing, and another gentleman helped out a little bit, and we gave him a few pointers. And then maybe a half hour later, we were in competition with these little guys, and one of them threw a bullseye at the targets you see behind here. And there's a certain amount of pride in having taught the little guy, but there's also a little bit of jealousy that he performed better than we did today.
Because of the evidence that archaeologists uncover, new insights and a deeper understanding into the sophistication of these ancient cultures have begun to emerge.
We seem to think that we have got the key to understanding science and physics and mathematics and use all that to achieve our goals today. But people in the past had a very sophisticated understanding of what boils down to physics and how to use simple tools to get tremendous impact. But if you simply extend your arm one more length with a hook on the end of the stick and put the proper proportions to this throwing stick, typically called an Atlatl, you can get phenomenal firepower.